We're live now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Lord on the mothership.
They're always listening.
Right. Yeah, it's just a momentary lapse, Lord Zuckerberg, I promise.
I'll give it like a minute.
Yeah,
I think that with us changing the days also, it will take, I really believe it will take a week or two, honestly, where people legit, but it's better we did it earlier than later. So
yeah, I was glad we got people rolling in right now though. So that's pretty cool.
That's enough. That's enough. I usually think when you get to 5, that's good. Hey, everybody, you're listening to the Two Hippies, One Drunk podcast. I'm this week's host. God darn it. I wrote this stupid thing. Eric Fahey. Sorry, dude. I'm the quote unquote professional here. Thanks for checking us out. If you have not liked our Facebook page or subscribed to us on YouTube or Facebook and whatnot, we'd really appreciate that. That's how we grow this thing and try to build it. So we don't have to be we can do this for a job at some point. The show is a little different than most podcasts in that we rotate between 3 of us, 3 longtime comic friends, Scott,
this guy,
Ryan, and Tyler Charles over there out in Colorado. And then me, Eric Fahey. I'm the host of the show this week. Okay, so hello. You guys are sounding better. We gave them new mics, so hopefully this will help.
Yeah. We got one new mic, but it's a nice new mic. So it's working out.
Yeah, it sounds a lot
better, right?
So I'm going to go right into it, to be honest with you, because I think I think that will fill the time.
So this week's about.
Yeah, so I think it almost came up on the show essentially a few weeks ago when we were talking about the idea of like movies. I don't remember what the topic was, but somehow I think we got on the topic of like when you're a child and these movies, there'd be like this one blockbuster for the summer and everyone would just know it. And without YouTube and like TikTok and shit, like that was your whole culture. Right, that's what you had for the summer. Like now, someone does
those quotes just repeat themselves. That whole
exactly. Like there'll be like now there's like a challenge, or there'll be like some dumb challenge or some dumb like trend on TikTok, and it's like
disappear in like a week.
Yes.
Remember like Joe Exotic or something like that? That kind of filled the role of something like that.
That did the pandemic though.
Yeah.
No, he's right though. That did, but that was because that was in the one. Everyone can get into what they think about the lockdowns here, but for the most part, no matter what people think, we really only legit shut shit down for about a month and a half, maybe 2. You know what I mean?
We were in that real full
real where like almost nothing was fucking
like
open.
We're all gonna die. The doors are locked. The windows are boarded.
Gotta watch some Tiger King.
I remember some fucking guy coughing. I was outside just this house I was house sitting for, and some guy 2 houses down across the street coughed, and I was like, Jesus Christ, get away, son of a bitch. Get fucking out of here. But I think that's what Tiger King, because it was like that, it was almost like we did all go back to that for a little bit. But so anyway, I think I was thinking about those movies, and for whatever reason, Austin Powers like came to my mind as one to like. I think it's because I haven't legit watched it in a long time.
Neither of we. Like honestly, it's been at least 10 years for myself.
Right.
No. Well,
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say like one reason I haven't watched it, and I'm sure we'll get into this when we talk about our opinions in a second a little bit more so, but like it's embarrassing. Like
you're going too far. You're saying too much already. You're saying too much already.
You gotta wait.
You revealed too much.
Spoiler alert for 5 seconds.
Spoiler alert! You should be embarrassed.
But here's the thing that you have to put things into context, though, in reality. And so, because you already went there, I'm going to start off with what I want to do, and that was ask you guys a few questions. And I want you to ask them individually, even though I'm asking the same question. Yes. So like one question that struck me when I was watching this and doing some looking into it, and I want to say, I'm asking this specifically first. Do you remember if you either one, if you is Scott, did you actually watch this in the theaters? Do you remember? Yeah. You did? You would have saw this.
I watched it in the theater. No, the second and third one I did.
Exactly. Tyler, did you watch this one in the theater?
No. I saw it on VHS when I was a kid.
Right. And I don't think that I did either, by the way. And my point is, I don't think so. And the thing is that this movie, it was not a flop, because it's kind of some people look. You can read articles where people called it a flop, but it cost $16 million to make, and it made $65 million worldwide.
Yes,
it was considered a flop.
Some people have like looked
at the first one. Like it probably
some
became
people
famous
have
after that because people could watch it.
Michael Myers was at the height of his fame when the first one.
That's true. But I mean, what he's saying is like it kind of.
Well, I'm just saying that some people.
I mean, they made a lot of money.
There's articles on now like why that's ridiculous, but I'm just saying that there were people at one point, and so the interesting thing about that, like with a lot of movies, is like I don't think I saw it in theaters either, but I definitely saw it on video. And so the funny thing is like the second one, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Like, if you look back on it, that was really like the big one to me. Like, that was the one where we'd all seen the first one. And then, like, that came because that one did 65 million in the first week.
That makes sense.
And the other one only did 65 million.
Like, wanting some new quotes.
You think about, like, when you think about Austin Powers, one of the first things you think about is Mini-Me. He's not even in the first
Exactly.
first one
and
at all.
You know what,
that is so true. I mean, I drew that in the thing, and he's not in the first one at all.
I didn't even think about that until I didn't even think about that
in the movie we're covering.
No.
And so that's like that's the funny thing to me, like with that. Like, this is one of those movies. It wasn't like people saw it. Like I said, it did actually okay, and it got a big following once it went to movie, when it's to like the VHS or DVD. But like the weird thing is when we talk about like when I think about going around and quoting it, I think it's from the second one. Like, remember that "Get in my belly"? Like that was a big thing that you would.
Yeah.
I remember.
You had an old behave.
Yeah,
you had
there's other.
Do I make you horny? Do I make you ready? You
know what I wonder though? I wonder if you went back for real. Like, I wonder if you went back if that stuff didn't build up and then really explode again after the second one. I wonder if
first one, maybe.
Yeah, I wonder when you watch
the second one and then they rewatched the first.
I'm curious, and like it sounds like you've actually done some research on this, but I'm curious. But like, I would have thought, okay, you had So I Married an Axe Murderer,
right?
Which to me, I would argue is maybe the best Michael Myers film.
I've actually not seen that. I should probably watch it.
It's good. It's good. It's an actual movie. It's funny. It's it works. It's not just a series of gags. I
never even opened my beer up. Sorry. Continue.
And then
Continue.
Yeah. What are you doing? This is very unprofessional. You not even being
Corona.
You need to be wasted.
But then you had Wayne's World, which is just, I think, very overrated, but like a major cultural.
Wayne's World 1 to me was great. Not great, but
absolutely.
Wayne's World 1 was very good. Wayne's World 2
was good. I was on board.
They were going to make, the reason they didn't make a Wayne's World 3, it sounds like, is because he wrote this movie. They might have made a 3. Which,
whoa!
Yes.
So that he switched over to this instead. And then he went to Shrek.
I mean, Wayne's World 2 is borderline unwatchable.
What's
that
after
was
this?
a good call.
What's after these movies?
What's after these movies?
Shrek?
I feel like it is Shrek. I feel like Shrek is mixed into these movies, to be honest.
You think that there's kind of overlap?
Okay, yeah.
There probably is.
Yep. And then, of course, famously, Love Guru.
Oh, famously upsetting.
Yeah, obviously.
Notorious.
I don't even think I didn't.
That movie
by the way,
rough to watch.
I didn't mean to even get into this yet, but I have to say, I don't think I've watched Austin Powers 3 ever. I honestly don't think I ever ended up seeing the third one.
That is an hour and a half you have managed to just save of your life, man. Never watched it. Don't ever.
Yeah, seriously. I wish I was you. If I could make a wish, it would to be Eric, so I didn't have to watch that fucking movie.
It's like first comes out in 97. Second is 99, and the 99 one, again, like I remember being at Cedar Point that year and like walking around where I won a big like British flag hat, and I was telling people like, get in my belly to
that
like
is so you. I absolutely know.
No, you had so many of the big gags, so many of you had the rocket ship look like a dick. Like
right. But by 2002, when the third one, which I'm still in high school, I was still in high school. Yeah. I never watched Gold Member, I guess it was.
Yeah, Gold Member.
Man.
Yeah, that's
isn't that crazy though? In a way,
it's not a great one.
I would say Gold Member. I've never seen the Love Guru. I would say maybe the worst Michael Myers.
Love Guru beats it.
I've never seen the Love Guru. And besides that, take that one out.
Oh, besides that,
I feel like
okay, yeah, absolutely, hands down, worst one out of his other movies. Yeah,
and then.
I mean, a huge gag in it is just guy has a big mole and he keeps going mole.
Shit, that's that movie? Oh
yeah.
I never watched it, I don't think, but I think I remember. I don't know. Girl, terrible. Let me go back now to asking you a question. So
yes,
now if you can remember in your mind, I know it's a long time ago. Do you remember thinking though that this movie was funny?
I love as a kid. Okay, I will say rewatching it now, the first one I never really cared for. I would say nowadays rewatching it, like about 1 out of 3 gags work. Like,
okay,
a lot of them don't. Some of them were landing pretty good. I was laughing. The second one, I was a big fan of.
Okay. Yeah. The second one, for sure. Like I told you, I remember 100. I still remember things now. And when you think about it from the first one, other than the shag me and behave and do I make you horny, but those are throughout. I don't think that there was one that I stood out to me.
$1 million. You got
okay.
That.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. That's true. And then, go ahead, Scott.
Yeah. No. What were you going to say?
Do you remember thinking it was funny? Like, do you remember going like...
Absolutely, the funniest fucking... We actually, when I was a kid, my dad rented this movie on a weekend my mom was gone.
God, weren't those the days in a way?
Yeah, and honestly, me and my brother watch
the first one.
The first one. And let us watch it. And he got in so much trouble because we were just... we were real young. I had to be like 10, 11 or something, and quoting this movie with my 8-year-old brother. Just like, behave. Like, anything about being horny. Why am I saying horny?
You know what horny was?
And my mom was like, what did you let them watch? Like, oh my God. But yeah, that was the first
Do you think you remember knowing what horny was when you said it?
The first time I knew what horny was?
No, but do you think when you were saying it back then, do you think you knew what it was?
I didn't know when this movie came out what that meant.
Okay.
I would say that, like, I found out probably a year late, like 13.
I remember when the second one came out, he loses his mojo, and I still don't really fully understand what that means.
Mojo?
But at the time,
I forgot about that.
Like, what is it? Like, is that just sperm or like musk?
Well, this day and age, he would just take a Viagra, right?
Yeah, magic sperm. He lost his magic sperm.
I guess he would just take a Viagra now, I guess. And so actually, you know what's funny? Scott already said something.
Austin Powers dropping some Molly.
You think that's what Viagra is? Just Austin Powers coming in a pill and like just distributing.
I mean,
no, I don't believe Michael Myers has ever ejaculated in his entire life.
You think?
No, I think he's completely non-sexual. Yes,
that's fair. I mean, if you make a movie about how you lost your mojo, you don't really know what that stuff is.
And his just whole general vibe. I'm like, I don't imagine Michael Myers.
Has he been married? I assume he's been married.
If these movies are any reference to how much this dude's getting laid, he's getting laid constantly.
Imagine it. Try to imagine in your head Michael Myers just fucking.
I can because of those movies.
That is a good point. That is kind of a good point.
Is he like...
Just everybody wants to fuck him. He's always in fucky situations.
Yeah.
Every single person.
Inexplicably in those
Dude,
movies. He wrote the movies.
Or female, whatever.
He wrote the movies, though.
He wrote the movies, but...
Did you think this was an organic situation being filmed?
All I'm saying is
there's a reality television.
I'm saying I've seen the movies. I didn't get into the backlog of his sexcapades.
Yeah.
I just know...
Because they don't exist. Because he's never once had an erection. He is incapable.
This is the weirdest theory I've ever heard in my entire life.
I tried to fuck Michael Myers.
No, I'm just saying. We all know this. This shouldn't be.
This is the weirdest theory I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah,
I don't even. I don't even understand where it stems from. Like,
yeah, I know.
Because like
I feel like
there's not like there's rumors in Hollywood like
talk about some deep dark memory from his childhood that he can't bring up
involving Michael Myers
and his soft dick.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I've watched a lot. I spent a lot of my life paying attention to TMZ and shit. And I've never heard even any rumors that like he was like.
No, this is my own personal.
I know it is, but I'm
just saying. I feel like everybody should know. He's one of those. Imagine
like you're the researcher. Did you research this shit? You find out
I
on
didn't.
the dark web that like he ain't getting.
I seriously want to understand, where is this a thought you've had before just now, or are you just
Yes.
saying it right now?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't believe that's
Absolutely, I have. Absolutely.
I think that's
I
very
don't- what
suspicious
is
that you're even questioning this.
I just okay, like imagine, try to picture it in your head. That's what I'm saying. Can you picture that fucking like
Yes.
what
I
does
never can
Michael
picture
Myers
anybody
look
having
like?
sex.
Goofy, but like fucking, you know.
Goofy. Is
Goofy
he
was-
smiling? Is he
Yeah,
Well, can you
doing
imagine-
the
He's
Tyler
doing
smile?
like,
Is he like-
yeah, shag
Can-
me, baby. And he's
Can you imagine Will Ferrell having sex? I mean, you know what I mean?
No,
I could-
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're right about
Yeah.
that.
Adam Sandler?
Yeah,
I could see him.
Adam Sandler
He's got some
throws down.
swagger.
I think Adam Sandler
I
throws
think he's
down.
going down every time on his wife.
Yeah.
I think that's
No, I think he.
Gross.
kind of guy he
I
is.
think he might be decent at fucking.
Yeah, he's probably pretty good.
Not
at it.
like not great, but like he
I
really-
really-
he
like
holds
Adam
out.
Sandler's fine, but like he's got swagger enough.
Jim
to be
Carrey?
fucking- Mm-mm. No,
To be honest with you, I have a thing.
you need a tall girl. You need a very tall girl.
I have a
Very
long running
tall girl
thought when it comes to.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I just feel like he's tall and gangly. It'd be weird if like he was with a short girl.
That's the problem, not his face, not his general
Would Jim
presence.
Carrey start doing
Right.
faces during sex? You know
What?
what I mean?
Yeah, right. Oh my
Where he
god,
starts
does
in
a
there-
bit while you're fucking.
Yeah.
I
Is
can
he
see.
talking
No,
out of
see,
your ass?
see, now that I think about it, see, Jim Carrey's a dude who I could see so not getting out of character. Like I could see him having sex and have to still sit there and go, still sit there and be like,
Alrighty
"Do
then."
not go in there." or
As
something.
he's nutting.
yeah. DARTY because I gotta. And then it comes
Just real. So back to this. Scott said something that actually shocked me, which is actually one more question I was going to have. And I didn't ask you guys to do this because I felt like if I asked you, it would be, I wanted you just to watch it. So it doesn't have to be exactly, but I know how many times I actually laughed during the movie and not ironically. And Scott sounded like he actually laughed a few times. Do you have an idea of how many times?
I laughed more than him. I honestly, I'd say here's how I would say it. Most of the sex jokes didn't land.
They're the
Right.
worst.
But
Those are the worst.
Pretty much all of the other bits I love and like are
Okay.
nostalgic to me, and I love them, and I was laughing at those. But any of the him trying to get laid stuff, which is a lot of it, like
Yeah.
I was like,
There is a lot of that in the episode. If you really break it down to it.
yeah, we'll get into it.
Which is
but,
why
like,
I think that maybe the second one is probably the superior film.
Because it's
Is
actually more of a film.
It focuses more on Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And like Dr. Evil, he's the you get me laughing
he's
2 out of
hilarious.
3 times. It's Dr. Evil.
Yeah, he's good.
So
stuff.
I'm gonna say I literally and I like to laugh. I laughed one time, like in an actual genuine laugh, and it was
Well,
the big boy,
Yeah, what
the
was
big boy
laugh?
joke at the very beginning when he goes like,
What?
"It's back," and he's like, "Big." Well, in a lot of ways, Big Boy has never left. They still offer, they've always offered great prices.
We did not laugh at that.
No,
it was
he missed it. He went to the bathroom for that.
no.
to be fair.
I heard it. I remember it
Were
being
you-
starkly silent.
That
I
was the
remember-
only thing I
I didn't
laughed at the whole movie.
I because I thought it was. I was thinking it was the bit from the second one that
Right,
was
with
like
the dick.
That's what
Yeah.
I was thinking. I literally wrote that down and then erased it because I was like, oh no, they're not doing the dick joke.
It was seriously the only thing I mean, I like, there was plenty of moments where I was kind of like, as I kind of ironically, like, oh boy, kind of laughing.
There were a couple. Well, you watched. I would say like okay, there were 2. The Mustafa getting like put in the flames.
Yeah, that was funny. You're right. That was funny. That's almost funny because that's Will Ferrell to me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
his
Will
voice.
Ferrell really killed it at that. Just like,
Totally.
and he got shot. He got fell down there, got burned, and shot twice.
Yeah, and that was the
Jesus
thing.
Christ.
That's one thing I will really say about these movies too is that it has a bit and then it commits to it often too far,
Yeah.
often
Right,
too
right.
much. It's like you had a little funny thing and you went on and on with it, but
Which
there
is
are times
weird.
like the
Oh, go ahead.
Mustafa where it works.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I'm weird. Anyone that knows me in real life knows that like I can almost give that respect because I will do that in my real life. It's funny to me in real life or be around people and like you're in the car ride, say with your guys, and you're just fucking around, and I'll make a joke and then like they'll maybe laugh and then I'll just fucking keep saying it and it's like no one's laughing anymore, but it's like funny to me that I'm still saying it or something. But I know what you're saying. Like in a movie, maybe it has to be different in a movie like that. And then here's what I was gonna say after that. One other thought I had, and then I'm gonna kind of open it up to where we can kind of go a little more free flowing, I guess, would be I thought like what's shocking to me in a lot of ways is like if you think about it in this day and age with everything getting canceled, and even though there was overt, sex jokes, like if you really watch it, I honestly thought to myself, there was nothing in there to me that could get like canceled, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like douchey in the sense of like from the 80s where just I don't know. Like, does that make you know what I'm saying? Like,
honestly, the movie a lot makes fun of Austin, so like, it's not real. Like, it does poke fun at that, but they're poking fun at a genre. Like, that's more along the lines of like how I feel their angle was. It doesn't feel super offensive because it's like they're making fun of a genre of movie.
And like even the sex stuff, like he doesn't like rape. It's like it's not like the sex stuff like he
rapey though.
But he doesn't like it. It doesn't to me like he never pushes.
The movie starts out with essentially a mob of people. One, I was thinking he's a spy, right? Like that's his whole thing. Like why does everybody know who he is? What? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. But also, it starts out with a song montage where the entire town is trying to grab him to fuck him.
There's nothing.
But that's not like the same to me.
No, I'm not saying that it would get you canceled. I'm saying that people are trying to fuck him.
I know. But it's like I was just saying. I think it's remarkable. A lot of movies that I look back on from my childhood, I don't care. But like I've heard people even reference like American Pie and be like, this is, and Friends gets hit on now at times, and so I thought it was remarkable for a movie in '97 based on a character that's like a ladies' man that I didn't think it was like overtly something that could get canceled.
I would say the only thing that made me feel at all like it was heading into that territory is him really trying to get that girl to fuck him on the airplane.
Okay.
Yeah, on the
but
bed.
Even that, isn't it
like,
so playful?
On you
yeah. That was heading a little bit into that.
She was saying stop, and he was still doing it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Like you said, it's leaning on it. But like, it didn't fully go into that realm at all, really.
No.
And by the way, one other thing, when you mentioned that it's making fun of a genre, apparently like the people that that were making, the James Bond movies were legitimately mad because they thought that this was going to make light of their franchise that they
whatever.
Can you believe that? Get the fuck out of here.
You know what that is? That is fucking it. Like they had it was the Pierce Brosnan area,
right?
Like of the era of the Bond films. Like they're trying to stick that on Austin Powers. No, that is your own goddamn fault.
If it's going down the toilet, that's not our fault. Or that movie's fault, and they're just allowed to do that. It's a parody. Like they're allowed to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah,
crap. I thought I had a specific note about it, but I didn't. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say too that like if we're talking about what works in the movie, some of the Dr. Evil stuff, and then honestly the parody shit. A lot of that got me. I was laughing that first scene where he's supposed to be like a kick-ass like agent or whatever back in 1969, and he's punching that like what appears to be a woman in the face.
It turns out to be a dude.
It's so funny, by the way. I know it's a movie, but like it's so obvious a woman when she's like asking for the drink, and then when he punches her, he starts to take the.
That was honestly like one of my favorite cuts.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah, it's good because it was so cheap and cheesy. It just felt right for that kind of movie.
Yeah,
and it felt like it was accomplishing something. Like I think the second one is a better movie. Like it has some of the more classic gags in it. But one of the things that does hold up better in the first movie is that it is more clearly a Bond parody.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's a good point.
I didn't see that as the second one. I wouldn't think. I kind of think of it as its own movie.
The second one is we're getting into the universe now
of that world. Kind of.
And I honestly, I know we already talked about it a little bit, but it wasn't until I was watching last night that I was like, I don't think I ever saw the third one, so I just think that's kind of funny in the end. But because I really
like Beyonce, I feel like you the mole thing. Like,
I remember when I was a teenager, I went and saw it with some friends. When
Did you see it in theater?
In theaters.
Oh, okay.
I saw it with some friends in theaters.
Did you like it then?
No.
Okay.
No, I remember,
I could see not liking it.
Yeah, I remember like leaving it and doing that thing you do when the movie wasn't that good, where you get out, you go, yeah, it was all right.
Try to justify your $8.
Yeah, your money that you just spent.
Exactly. Like, I think I like the second one more, but it was like, it was all right.
I wonder what
good.
That must be so weird. Like in a way, like on some level, people get so high. By the way, people that get so high and mighty, I'm not telling you he should have made it or he shouldn't have made it. You know what? In reality, to me, dude, I think that people that grow up, I think that people that don't try to do entertainment like we, for example, all three have done. I think people don't realize that shit can go away very fast, and you've gone a lot of your life not making any money. So I think sometimes the idea of like how dare him make a third one? He's just doing it for money. Go ahead to me.
Yeah,
in my opinion, like in a lot of ways, go fucking ahead.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? People will say that, and sometimes, but on the same hand, it must be
but
weird.
It's still like take that avenue. I mean, that's your art. Like, do your thing. Whether you're only
gonna have so money. Look at how much. I mean, how much? What has he done for the? Like I know you said Shrek was big, obviously.
Did you see that? Did you see that Super Bowl Wayne's World commercial?
Yeah,
it's upsetting. I know, like he's too old, man. They're too old. It's very weird. It's like they brought them back from the dead to like puppet them to make them.
That is exactly what it's like. Yeah.
You know what's weird about that stuff though? Like sometimes to me, sometimes with like I'd consider that even though it's a commercial, like a reboot, and sometimes with reboots, it's just hit or miss. To me, sometimes it doesn't matter that they're 50 years older. If it's done right, it's like, oh my God, that's kind of cool. How cool of them to do it. But if it's done bad, then it's like, oh, look at these old men. Jesus Christ, get out. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes like
it was done bad.
Yeah. Like when X-Files came back, I know it's off topic, but when X-Files came back, for example, I was hating all these I was hating all the reboots before. Like, I was like, do we need God, everything's being rebooted. Everything's being rebooted. And they're like, X-Files is coming back. I'm like, hell yes, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah. I just needed to find what you were looking for.
Right. So,
go ahead.
Go. No, you can.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I feel like there's two different styles of like I look at. There's been some amazing kind of reboot shit that's come out in the last couple of years, like the show Cobra Kai. It's fucking awesome. Great,
yeah, I've not watched it, but I know people love it.
It's fucking fantastic.
The Halloween reboot they did with the main chick in it from 40 years like later, and she's like an old grandma who's still preparing for Michael Myers. It was kicked ass. It was awesome.
I have a question.
Like, really?
This will ever be rebooted?
Austin Powers?
Yeah.
If it does, it will be fucking terrible.
Yeah, I'm not saying
no. It would be god awful.
Like what are those like Lampoon movies, like the ones.
It'll
that
be
come
like
out
Bill
now.
and Ted. It'll be like that new Bill and Ted movie.
Yeah,
it'll be
did
like.
You see that? I didn't see it, but
we did. Yeah.
I hated it.
I thought it was all right. I had fun.
Although you know what, I barely remember the first ones, to be honest with you. And
I
even
loved them when I was a kid, but
it's weird. I should have been old enough to watch it. I kind of took a long time to mature when it came to like watching art. My mom didn't let us watch like anything that was remotely weird, and I don't know what it is. I just didn't.
Bill and Ted.
I don't think it wasn't allowed. I just don't.
Time travel.
I just don't remember even being interested in it for whatever reason. And I'm older than you guys. I should have been. It probably should have been in my wheelhouse.
The first movie is a classic.
Yeah,
I will flat
honestly,
out say.
I like the second movie
too.
It's pretty fun.
Too.
Maybe I'll have to go back and watch
that. The third movie is not good as those two, but I had fun with it.
I did not have fun. I felt very depressed. It was. No, because the problem is, sorry, and it's really quick, but
that's all right.
Because this is the kind of thing I wanted to say about like reboots, where like the right way you do it is you have somebody who loved the original property doing an homage to it.
Right.
That's why Cobra Kai works. That's why Halloween works. The problem is when you like Bill and Ted, for instance, and I feel like Austin Powers would fall in the same situation if you ever did do a reboot of it. They represent such a specific cultural moment where it's like, man, you got these fucking 50-year-old guys doing air guitar and hey, dude, like, and it's just it doesn't.
See, my problem, I didn't mind
work.
them doing it. I didn't like their daughters doing it. That was a problem for me.
Yeah,
huh.
Like they had
their daughters
were,
like in it, or their daughters
mini
like produced it or something.
No, they're just the daughters in it. Yeah.
Okay.
They have daughters in it, and they're just little mini me's of them, and it's like,
yeah,
it doesn't make much sense.
No,
like,
make them into
especially
like
for
EDM,
nowadays.
make them into SoundCloud rappers.
Right, right.
Exactly. You don't
That
have
would
them
be the
be
equivalent.
into metal and all the shit their dads are into. They don't
Yeah, that seems really dumb. You're right. Wouldn't it be more funny? Fish out of water. Who doesn't like, or the odd couple? The odd couple. Who does, like,
yeah, they
by the way,
listen
have you
to
ever
a
noticed?
song that they put on and they're like, oh, this is not bad. I haven't heard of this. Not, oh, yeah, of course we've heard of this because our dads are Bill
We
and
really
Ted.
love like Guns N' Roses and Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah,
and
like, no,
That seems very odd. You're right. Why wouldn't they be like? You're right. Why wouldn't they be into like TikTok and shit and or whatever?
Yeah.
And by the way, when it comes to comedies, have you ever noticed like there's so few it's funny how they it's like music where they stretch out these small amount of premises. There's buddy comedies, oddball comedies, fish out of water, and then if you want to get into romantic bullshit, but like those three are basically almost every comedy, unless you start getting into serious dark stuff that I like more now. And by the way, that's another thought I had about watching Austin Powers. I'm not trying to sound like that guy, but I've went back and some of the movies I liked. Happy Gilmore still. I still like
Happy Gilmore.
a few of those movies back in the day.
Yeah.
But I've watched back like some movies I used to love as a kid, and it's not even like I don't like them because they're not. I see why I thought they were funny as a kid, but like I have gotten so much into like more realistic, dark comedies, like and stuff like that. And when I watched Austin Powers, to me, it was just when you were a kid, when we were kids, especially, like that was what you had for comedies. They were all, by the way, if you notice, it was an hour and a half. Comedies back then were all almost exactly an hour and a half. You know what I mean? Like in that range of 90 to about 2010, maybe even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it wasn't rated R, so like a bunch of kids could watch it too.
Right.
It's like
but you know, you kind of know what I'm talking about with that, like with like the style of those things, like, and they all went like this. By the way, they all had like, it's like, no, actually, Austin Powers actually had a story. But when I watch some of those other movies I watched as a kid, they don't even have like stories in a sense of like. They just have this is when this funny thing happens, and then like another scene happens, and
it's a series of bits strung together.
Together a movie,
and it's so corny. It's so fucking corny.
Yeah,
it doesn't really even roll with anything. In some ways,
I would say I don't know. Like I have a really soft spot for Anchorman.
The first one's great.
To this day, I would describe that as a classic. Zoolander.
See, I think Zoolander, you know what's funny about Zoolander? I think that's still great, but Zoolander to me wasn't like, I think it's borderline cultish. I know it was popular, but not everybody got Zoolander. You know what I mean?
Zoolander was weirder than the other movies.
Like,
if there's a scale, it's on the weird.
That scene at the beginning with all the friends having that gasoline
fight and they all die.
That shit will still kill me.
Spoiler alert.
Right. No, I know. I'm trying to think. Tyler, what's like a movie that you could think that, besides the one off the top of your head, do you have a movie that you think you liked back then and you think you've watched in any recently or? Yeah. Can you think of one?
Yeah, I mean, I loved. It's not really a comedy, but I love and still think it's great today. Uncle Buck. I loved that.
I just watched that recently.
Yes,
and that was still pretty good.
Yeah,
I thought it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
It's certainly
for a movie. It's a good movie,
and for when it was made,
exactly.
It was still. I mean, I thought it. Yeah, that was funny.
So that I would say that it's
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That is, dude,
good movie,
great
and
movie.
it holds up.
That one is fucking, dude. I watched that this year in Christmas because I just had the fucking urge for it.
Movie,
yeah.
Fucking hilarious, dude. That movie, people, and that's one of those things sometimes when people talk about like old movies, and to me, that's why when I say certain movies, like for me, Major League, for example, Major League was a movie I loved as a kid. It had Charlie Sheen, and I'm trying to think of who the other fucking names were, but I fucking laughed hysterically in Major League 2 actually as a kid, is the one I liked as a kid. I watched it about 2 years ago on like a plane, and it was like, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
I liked it when I was a kid, but
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No,
you
go
good.
ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Scott. Let Scott go.
I was gonna say too. I also think that like there is a thing that has happened where, like how you were saying, you're like, I like more like dark, complex stuff or whatever. Like our sense of humor has evolved. That's why like Saturday Night Live doesn't work anymore.
Yeah,
right.
It's
right.
You're still doing
a
the same
different
thing,
perception
but
of
it's
comedy. Honestly,
yeah.
You know what? I tried this season to actually watch SNL again, just because I want to like it. I like that kind of. I do also like sketch comedy when it's satire.
Is that where
but
he came from?
Yes,
Michael. Okay,
yes,
but it's just not that great, unfortunately, for the most part. Recently,
that is kind of you to say, like even to describe it that way. Is
I know,
magnanimous of you.
I like the Weekend Update still right now with the two guys they have on. For the most part, when every update isn't just political, and I don't care what side, please tell another joke. But so I like it when there are other things happening in the world.
No, they're literally doing the same thing this movie does, where they're leaning too hard into one joke for way too long, and they're worse with it.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, but that was always their thing.
Yeah.
Like Austin Powers is a creation of Saturday Night Live.
Right, for sure. And you know what?
It's born from that. This movie is. Yeah.
A lot of I will say this. I think what's odd is I know we're getting off the target here a little bit, but to me, I like the conversation anyway. But I think it's odd that like I remember feeling like I used to hear a lot of people say like SNL movies, like SNL production movies, had like a bad reputation. But dude, some of my favorite movies are like SNL projects or like done from characters out of SNL. Like honestly, some of my favorite movies come
do you have any examples?
Yeah, Night at the Roxbury. It was a Saturday Night Live thing, basically. MacGruber was a Saturday Night Live thing.
MacGruber is fucking. That is a solid movie.
I'm trying to think of. I can't think of all but those two. I mean, but even if you count Billy Madison to me, like that, he was writing Billy Madison basically at
he was
SNL.
But in order to technically be one, though, you had to have been a Saturday Night Live character first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Let me think. There are probably some more I can think of, but honestly, I thought there was Ladies Man. I thought Ladies Man was a fucking good movie.
I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
Yeah, me neither.
You should watch that again. Honestly, I think it's probably definitely cancel culture at this point. But I mean,
time.
Didn't you say that Johnny Bravo's getting cancel cultured?
No,
is that what you're saying?
No.
Dude, I thought about you when Pepe Le Pew was getting canceled this week because I saw some comment below going, Johnny Bravo's got to be getting sweating bullets over here or some shit.
The problem is Johnny Bravo isn't important enough to get canceled.
I mean, was Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah, Pepe Le Pew. He's a Looney Tune. Looney Tunes is a big deal at some point.
Okay.
Johnny Bravo was
50 years ago. I didn't even know Pepe Le Pew was still a thing.
Yeah, I feel like it was a C-tier show when it came out.
The only thing is like Pepe Le Pew. I didn't even know Pepe Le Pew. Like I hadn't thought about him in 20 years, and all of a sudden now we're like this monster.
Have you seen some of those old Family Guy?
Oh, he's rapey as shit. But I'm just
what's that? Like,
what'd you say? Which one?
Quagmire in Family Guy. Some of those old Family Guy episodes.
Yes. If you want to cancel somebody, Quagmire gets canceled.
Well, I think with your Family Guy, I think falls under the same line as South. Well, Family Guy, I think Family Guy falls under the same line weirdly as South Park though. Like South Park does stuff I'm not a huge fan, but they do stuff every week that should get them canceled. But because they've just stuck to what they did since day one, it's just kind of been like, well, this is what it is.
Can we? Okay, I know this is way off base, but just really quick because it's relevant, and we were talking about it a little bit beforehand. Can we talk about how insane it is that fucking they're trying, like TikTok was trying to cancel Eminem over "Love the Way You Lie."
Oh, I know, dude.
Any of his fucking have they heard anything from like the Marshall Mathers out?
That's what's so funny about it, dude.
Lie?
Yeah, because of that line at the end, I'm tired of the bed and set this house on fire.
Well, by the way, to me, why if what I don't understand sometimes about things that get canceled is like in that instance, okay, I know that Eminem wrote it, I know it's on his album, but Rihanna sung on it. Why isn't she canceled too? Like, why would she be able? Because in this day and age, it seems like even if you're on the track, then why? Right? Why would she be allowed to survive? Like, why did she sing on a song that was you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally. It was. I mean, like, there's so many different avenues you can go with that. Why is Chris
I know.
not canceled? Why, like, seriously, the fact that that Kim or 97 Bonnie and Clyde exist, and that this was the thing. Like,
and it's like the funny thing is because things, like we said earlier, how things come and go so fast, dude. Well, we don't have to get too much more into it, but whether you like it or not, he wrote this, cancel related song after it, blah blah blah, and by next week, dude. Not even next week. I think it's already done. I already don't even hear people talking about it. No. So the funny thing is these things come so fast and they didn't even look back to any of the other shit that was way, way worse. And it's like nothing happened. He wrote a song, then himself responding. There was some stuff about that. And already by today, I don't hear anyone talking about it anymore.
No.
And no one delved into, like you said, like any of those things.
Yeah.
What about Criminal? I mean,
yeah, seriously, I kill you. Almost kill you song from the Marshall Mathers LP.
Kim, isn't that one of the songs?
Kim is as well in the Marshall Mathers LP. Yes,
I mean,
even if you're going to less famous, like, literally,
it just makes no sense, dude.
Literally, take any of his first 3 CDs and just put the lyrics on a wall and just throw a dart. And you're gonna get something,
right? Yeah. Honestly, it just never makes any sense. Let's get back to Austin Powers. I want to see I did get some of the questions I have. I wanted to know now. I want to open up and see like a more like what were your feelings watching it this time? I know we've kind of already got into it, but I want to know like a little more. If you took any notes or anything struck you?
Okay. I will say this is what do we want to go through it or do we want to
like go through the movie
really quick?
Yeah, let's do that. We can do that.
Okay. Yeah, because we start out, we have that scene at the beginning that we were talking about with
well, it starts with Dr. Evil. It doesn't show his face, tries to make him mysterious.
I love it. They were doing a real Inspector Gadget thing.
Yeah, they were.
Dude.
With the cat and everything.
I just never remembered how this started. When all this started, I was like, even like the fact that the cat didn't have hair, actually had hair at first. I didn't fucking remember that.
I forgot that it had hair at first. Me too. But it gets frozen off. So he escapes in the Big Boy. And then it cuts to Austin doing his little dance montage with everybody in town just trying to bang him. Like, I feel like if he got caught, he's getting molested on the street. Like, right?
Right. I
feel like that's happening.
Yeah,
Tyler's really into that opening scene.
Real Woodstock 99 type.
I just think it's ridiculous that a spy, everyone knows who he is, and they all want to fuck him. And it's not just women in there. There's a ton of dudes in there going for him too. It's everybody.
Did they explicitly want to fuck him, or are they just chasing him?
Why would they chase him without that intent? Like autograph?
Maybe.
They didn't seem like they wanted an autograph. They seemed like they wanted meat.
Two things, by the way. I looked up. I finally saw this. So when I said that the James Bond people got mad, it was Daniel Craig. The sixth dude.
Shut up.
Yes, he went on record. He went on record saying that he feared that this was gonna damage the
their genre of
their franchise.
It's so stupid. What a whiny little.
And you know what? Can we just James Bond sucks.
I've never been a fan, to be honest with you.
No.
But you know what? I can understand why people do. If you like that type of movie, I think it's probably the tops. I get it. I don't particularly like those kinds of movies, but
okay. I mean, this may be a weird opinion, but if I wanted a James Bond type movie, the Kingsman series.
Yeah, absolutely.
So much more fun. So much just, I don't know, like they do cooler things.
It's that, but it's better. Yeah. It's what they should be.
To look into it, I guess. Although I don't really like those kind of movies, so I won't.
Right.
But,
I feel like a better version of those movies. Maybe.
And then one more thing I was going to point out in these notes, and then we're going to definitely get back. Sorry, but this was funny to me. So apparently Myers, he really disliked like when people wear those fake like latex bald heads, you know.
Yeah.
He hated the look so bad. He thought it looked so fake, the idea of having a fake, thing, latex, that he legitimately just shaved his head to do Dr. Evil. But that means they had to do... Wig. Well, they did all the scenes of Austin Powers, and then they recorded all the scenes as Dr. Evil.
The whole movie with Dr. Evil. That's
they did
wild.
different. Well, no, not like the whole movie, but I'm just saying they shot the scenes.
Why wouldn't he just wear a wig and shave his head?
He didn't like the look. He thought the look looked too fake. So
that is such a weird.
That's some hardcore commitment to this cheesy ass movie.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is everything in this movie is so intentionally
cheap
artificial
and cheap.
Fake.
Yeah, it just feels fake. And then the one thing that's full on real is
like I'm gonna be an auteur in this. Like,
what a thespian.
Yep.
So anyway, go ahead for what you guys were kind of getting into there. I just had those notes I did want to say.
Pretty much recapping the movie. The only thing, the next part would be like Austin punches that man. Woman honestly punches a woman, and then it turns out to be a man.
I know, right?
Dr. Evil tries to assassinate him. Dr. Evil escapes.
He escapes. Yeah,
the big boy.
He gets frozen. Why does Austin Powers get frozen? Do you know?
Why does Austin Powers get frozen?
Because he gets frozen because he wants Dr. Evil is so bad that he's decided for mankind he's going to
freeze me until he comes out.
Now the funny thing is if Dr. Evil never came back, then Austin Powers was just going to stay frozen.
Yeah, I was thinking
had a whole
seriously. If you play that out, like what is the if Dr. Evil just doesn't come back, what if Dr. Evil just fucking dies in space?
Are you just frozen forever? Or is there a time when you get to get out?
And here's another thing, by the way, that just hit my head. So what is it? Vanessa is the original one that he loves. Then he's like, oh, she's 30 years older and she's so an old lady. So they're in the hotel. It's and her daughter, Vanessa's, I forget what Mrs. Kensington, sorry, or whatever. They're talking to each other. And she's talking about Austin, and she's like, "Oh, you," and then she says, "Oh, even though he's kind of crazy, and he tries to fuck me, but honestly, he was one of my most truest, loyal friends ever." And she's like, "He's right here. Do you want to talk to him?" She's like, "Oh no, it'd just be a little too weird." Are you fucking 30 fucking years?
Because she wants to fuck him, and she wants her daughter to fuck him.
Yeah,
I think that whole scene, I was like, literally, mom wants to fuck Austin. Mom wants daughter to fuck Austin.
No,
because it's like a three-way with Austin.
Right,
and
like it's like, dude, you have what you just described to your daughter is one of your most loyal best friends. He was frozen for 30 years
and shit, and it's like, oh no,
he was frozen for 30 years, and he's alive somehow. Like technology has gotten so good that he's alive, and she's not even talking about
90s, 1997.
And she's not even talking about flying to see him. She just goes, "Hey, you want to talk to him on the phone? Maybe say hi." No, I
don't want to talk to my lifelong friend.
That'd be really weird. It'd be a little awkward.
Not even a hello, like shitty friend, and stop trying to get your daughter to fuck her.
Yeah,
it's just kind of funny to me. I know it's a movie, and the reality is, it just wasn't. The scene wasn't going to go like that way. But if you put that in real life context, it would just be so obnoxious. Like,
anyway. I would like to explore what that daughter's childhood was like with her mom.
Yeah, just praising him and just in love with another man other than her husband.
Oh, and by the way, why didn't they have this talk they have on the phone about how Austin was? Like
when he got out of.
Well, think about this. Like, she's in the academy or whatever she was. Yeah. And then eventually they give her the message saying, "Hey, we're going to unthaw this this spy from 30 years ago to help us out in this case." Yeah. And she knows the situation, and her mom don't have these cocks already. Like,
yeah. Or honestly, hey mom, your best friend when you were younger is getting thawed out. Would you like to be here when he arrives in the new world? Like, for real.
And also, actually, if we're talking about cancel culture stuff too, him walking around naked.
Yeah.
All the time. What the hell is up with that? Yeah. Because they're not fucking at that point. He's in the background stretching out. They're doing this whole gag with his dick being out. And it's like, imagine you're staying in a hotel.
Secret agent and you're like, you got this coworker. You're going to stay in a hotel together.
And then walking around butt-ass
walking around just dick swinging like.
Well, and then by the way, these are movies, so you have to just understand that some things go. But by the way, she went pretty fucking fast from on the plane saying, "I don't care if the world is literally, the world is literally requiring us to have sex to continue the human race. I will never have sex with you. And then what, 2 days later, they're already all a little flirty in a hotel. And then the next day she's like, once she finds out he was with a lot of vagina or whatever, she's like, Austin, if we're gonna be together, I can't have you just sleeping with every chick there is. I'm like, what? Oh shit. Uh-oh. They froze. Shit. God damn it. Well, I don't know if this is still going out there or not, but they got fucking frozen. Fucking internet. I don't know what to do because they're still out there. So I'm just going to keep talking and hopefully they'll restart it and come back in. Are you there? Wait a minute. Turn up the volume. Let's see. Hello. It's just fucking. This is how this shit goes sometimes when you're doing a show with people that live in Colorado. God, they're on my screen.
Hear us now?
I can't hear them.
Can you hear us now?
This is okay. Well, I'm gonna talk and hopefully they get on the screen here soon. But it was just kind of what was there? There was another thing I was thinking about when it came to that scene with her.
Can you hear us?
Oh,
now?
I know the corniness of it was
Hello?
that like.
Can you hear us?
God, I can see them on the screen. This is kind of a weird situation. Sorry guys for listening or they're going through this. It's weird because they're on the screen, but I can't hear them. But it's funny when they walk into the casino and they're sitting there and she's like, some of the main people from Dr. Evil's camp gamble at this casino frequently. And they're a few hours over that table.
Hello?
Like, oh, what by chance they're just at this fucking table. And it's like fucking ridiculous that they're just number 2 is just sitting at this fucking table gambling by chance in the fucking casino. How convenient. Anyway, that's
Can
fucking.
you hear us at all?
Can you hear
back
us
yet?
No.
Fuck, man. This
Reload.
yeah. No, I can't hear you.
Reload it.
So God, they're on the fucking screen. How ridiculous! This is really annoying.
Just reload it. Did you send? Look at your phone. Look at your phone.
What do you want
Look
me
at
to
your
do?
phone. Look at your phone.
Okay, reload. Okay. All right. One.
We'll
how am I
wait.
going to do
We'll
that?
wait.
How do
We'll
I
wait.
reload it without
Just
stopping?
click the
Can I
button.
stop it? Okay.